morning to you, Africa, and welcome to Breakfast Show on your favorite TV station, TV Taraba. My name is Franklin Fabulous Felixson. Welcome to another brand new tonic this beautiful morning. It's a weekend, and of course, you know how that goes. We have a breakfast extra this beautiful morning. And of course, on the program, we shall be talking extensively about the need for us to amplify advocacy for peace in Nigeria. But today, on the platform, we shall be welcoming the hierarchy of the Taraba Independent Peace Committee, also known as the Independent State-Based Peace Architecture, as birthed by the National Peace Committee. And of course, the build-up to the elections in 2015, there was need by some Nigerian elite to ensure that Nigeria remains united. And on that account, with initiatives from the Kuka Center and also sponsored by the Swiss Embassy, the National Peace Committee has successfully established working state advocacy committees as far as peace is concerned to ensure that states during and after elections, even before, live in peace. But today on the program, we shall have the Secretary of the Taraba Independent Peace Committee, Mr. Justin Tiopuso, who will feature on this program to give us an enlightenment and also educate us on their activities, challenges, and prospects as far as future elections and general livelihood of Nigerians would be, thanks to the activities of the National Peace Committee in collaboration with Independent State-Based Architecture. My name is Franklin Fabulous Felix, and remember to start your day on a positive ride. We'll take this short break. When we return, we welcome our guests into the studio. Remember, our lines shall be open also for you to contribute and also ask questions where necessary. Don't go anywhere. Stick around. We'll be back. All right, thank you very much, and of course, welcome back, and thank you for your faithfulness to the Choice Leader Television, TV Taraba. We bring to you this breakfast show every Tuesdays, Thursday, and Saturdays, and of course, today is not an exception. As I told you earlier, we have in the studio someone who is going the extra mile, all right? He's going the extra mile beyond his call to duty as a journalist and someone whose track record is there with proven results, and so he's also extending his benevolence as far as community service is concerned as the Secretary of the Independent State-Based Peace Architecture here in Taraba State. It's my pleasure to welcome to the studio Mr. Justin Tiopuso. It's good to have you on the show, man.
Thank you.
It's been long I shook a guest like this. You know, Corona came with one. It took me a long while to start meeting people on the program. So how are you doing, man?
I'm good, thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for
Good
the
to
job
be
you're
here.
doing. Yeah, it's always a pleasure. The last time you were here, I think you came with Prof. The
Yes.
chairman himself. Yeah. I wish Prof was here, and but hey, I trust you. So please, let's go right away. How far? I know you've been traveling. You've been to Abuja on the account of struggle to ensure that we have a sustainable peace in Taraba State. Recently, I understand you attended yet another, capacity building, workshop in Abuja. Tell me a little bit about it.
Okay, thank you very much for having me in, and good morning. Let me give you a little background,
Okay.
then I'll come here. In the build-up to 2015 election, there was general tension in the country. There were a lot of prophecy about Nigeria, that Nigeria was going to break up. There was a tension between the South and the North, with a Southerner being the incumbent president, then Goodluck Jonathan, and then President Muhammadu Buhari being a Northern candidate at the All Progressive Congress, contesting against the sitting president. So the tension was building, and this tension didn't just start on the election. It started because when the Yaradua died, the North were agitating that they should be able to continue the tenure of their own, the Yaradua. So, but the Constitution, the doctor and the necessity who came in and then brought in President Goodluck Jonathan as president, after completing the tenure, he ran in 2011 and won, and they wanted to run again in 2015. So the tension the North was feeling, being neglected, that, we hope to have completed the tenure of Yaradua, but here is this Southerner, coming to occupy this seat for eternity. So there was that high tension in the country. So the likes of the convener, Bishop Matthew Hassan Kuka, and the Sultan of Sokoto and other eminent Nigerians came together and said, no, we must do something to salvage the situation. So, led by the former military head of state, General Salami Abubakar, the committee, midwife the process of ensuring a free and fair election and ensuring that there was dousing tension, ensuring there was general acceptability of the outcome of the election. And you see how the result went. At the end of the day, the incumbent president, willingly, accepted defeat, congratulated the then president-elect Muhammadu Buhari, and the rest is history. Now, fast forward to 2019, the same thing, happened. Because of the success of what happened in 2015, there was need, to cascade that into 2019 and ensure the continuity, because the same tension was building. Nigeria election usually comes with this kind of trouble, so there was need to maintain or sustain the tempo, and the National Peace Accord was equally signed in 2019. And then after the 2019 election, with all the successes that this initiative offered, there was need to step down this initiative at the subnational level, that is at the state level, because there were a lot of agitations. People were saying, if this is working at the national level, why not do some at the state level? Because most times, governorship elections, state house assembly elections in the country, in most part of the country, end up in violence. Before, during, and even after the election, the results are announced. So that was the reason for the establishment of the State Independent Peace-Based Architecture, otherwise called ISPAs. And for us here in Taraba, we go by the name Taraba Independent Peace Committee. Now, but in the structure of the National Peace Committee and the Coca Center Secretariat of the National Peace Committee, we refer to them all these initiatives, being supported by the Coca Center as ISPs, so that they will be independent enough to be able to do their work and to be able to do exactly the mandate, step down the mandate of the National Peace Committee at the state level.
Okay, I'm happy.
So when we went to Abuja, the last time we were in Abuja, we were there on a national workshop, a national dialogue, on how to bring Nigerians together. So the conference was on national integration, revisiting the national question, Nigeria elusive search for national integration, because despite the efforts of the Coca Center, beyond election cycles, there are agitations here and there. People are feeling exclusive. They're not feeling inclusive in the Nigerian state. So that's where you could hear agitation from the IPOB, from the Southwest, where the Odua People's Congress are agitating, led by one Igboho. And in the north, you also have some agitations. The Boko Haram, to some extent, is some people tag it as one of these agitations. We want to be on our own, or we don't want to belong to the Nigerian states, and all of that. So we need to bring in, come together, discuss, and see how we can be able to foster way forward towards
the reason for
that was
this
the reason for this conference.
All right, I'm happy to hear that. In your background, you made mention of the initiator. When I hear people like Bishop Matthew Hassan Kuka, when I hear people like Aliko Dangote, when I hear people like Atedola, Salami Abubakar, these are people that are Sultan of Sokoto. These are people that, as we speak, are not working for. They've achieved a lot. They have, their profile is something to celebrate. And so when I look at the profile of these people, I realize that they have nothing to lose as far as achieving materiality or maybe getting financial dexterity is concerned. What makes up the state architecture also? Do we have people like this that are not, let me use the word, are not in government, that are also independent, that are members of this architecture? Because we have to be careful, because we are trying to unite Nigerians. All right, somebody might just be an active member of a particular political party and is part of your committee. I mean, what is the makeup? Because it's important that people, because as you're talking, people are like, okay, you want peace, you want to unite people, you want us to live in peace, you want that when next elections come, before, during, and after, there should be peace. So, but another is still asking, who are the members of these state, independent, state-based peace architectures?
Okay, like you rightly said, at the national level, we are people that, let's say, independent, minded. As humans, we must have affinity or affiliation to a particular political party because all of us are political animals. But as political animals, we, at the level of National Peace Committee, you don't show your position so clearly. Let me just put it that way, because you may have it in mind that, oh, I have sympathy for this particular person, or this particular politician, or this particular political party, but then your role as a member of the National Peace Committee or State Peace Committee, you have to remain as neutral as possible, and that should be known by the public. Now, let me tell you why. In Taraba State, it is very difficult for us to have people that are not really in government, so to speak. But then we try as much as possible to recruit people based on their track record and what they do in the society, their community service, and what they stand for. And because we know that certain interests we clashed, the interests of the political party will clash with the mandate of the peace committee that we are working on. We try as much as possible to bring in people who are, to some extent, neutral, unbiased. Now, you may not have those prominent people in Taraba like that, but then prominence is, for me, is a matter of choice, a matter of semantics, or how you put it. You may be prominent in the political party, you may be prominent in community service, but people may not know you. It is your constituency.
You can also lack integrity. Exactly. Yes, maybe prominent. So it will avoid a situation where we bring in people that are well known in APC and PDP or whatever political party. We will not align with the mandate of the National Peace Committee.
We try as much as possible to avoid them, not because they cannot contribute meaningfully to what we are doing, but we try as much as possible to raise people who through what they are doing privately or in their comfort zone, to bring them together to see how we can fuse this membership. So that's why in Taraba we have just a few members. We have only 17 out of over a 4 million population. Now, our chairman, Professor Talangarka, is well known as a pastor and an academic. He is not a card-carrying member of any political party. Myself, Justin, the secretary of Taraba Peace Committee, I'm not a politician. I'm a journalist and a public worker. And then you have the likes of Bishop Bishop Charles Hamawa,
the Bishop of Jalingo
Diocese, our head of secretariat, Reverend Father Clement Tiba. Right. We have the secretary of the Federation of Women. No, not women lawyers. Okay. We have his phone one is the Federation of Muslim Women Association. Bawa Idris Hafsat.
Okay, she's part of the committee.
A member of the committee. We have Prince Aliyu Mafindi, a member of the committee. So we avoid, politicians as much as possible, because definitely their interests will clash, and then by the time an issue involves a political party and they are there, definitely there's that tendency that they will take side. So we try as much as possible to maintain this neutrality.
Okay, very, very quickly, I'm happy to hear this, but mind you, we are all aware that the Taraba Independent Peace Committee has successfully, for the very first time, I have it on record that we have the very first time to have your committee bringing together different candidates from different political parties to sign a peace accord, including the eventual winner of that election, His Excellency Dr. Abu Kefes. We saw him signing the peace accord. We saw some other candidates who were able to bring to sign this peace accord, and some even leverage on the fact that you could even go to the INEC and invite them there to come, and they did. How this work? Did you carry out advocacy to the public and to stakeholders of these political parties to say, look, if you do not sign some of this peace accord, that means you don't mean well for the state, and thereby convincing them to do so? Because the big heads came because the major candidates were there.
Okay, thank you very much. Yes, advocacy were conducted. Forums like this were, we had opportunity to, to be on air, to television, radio, to draw the attention of the public and the key stakeholders involved in the election process and the need for the peace accord signing. And I want to take this opportunity to commend the Swiss Embassy. This program we're on is part of their support to ensure that we reach out to the wider public.
Because I was going to ask how you're able to get funding for this. Yeah.
So the Swiss Embassy, the National Peace Committee, the Kuka Center, the UNESCO, the UN coordinator on humanitarian affairs,
Great.
all of these have been of great support, to our initiatives. And thanks, many thanks must be given to the Kuka Center for the role they are playing in coordinating and ensuring they give us support us, to ensure that we do all we do. In fact, Reverend Father Tabarikindo, the head of Secretariat of the Kuka Center, has done more than enough. In fact, I think the Taraba State government, not just the Taraba State government, the Nigerian government need to recognize this young man and then really give him a tap on the back on what he's doing daily to ensure that we maintain this kind of tempo in the country. Back to your question. The peace accord signing, like I laid the background earlier, in 2015, you saw Buhari, President Buhari and President Jonathan signing peace accord, hugging each other. In 2019, you saw former Vice President, His Excellency Atiku Abubakar Waziri Adamawa, the then President Muhammadu Buhari, and other candidates, signing peace accord and hugging themselves. Why in the field, their opponents, keep throwing bunkers on each other, but then when they come to the peace accord signing, you saw them smiling, signing peace accord, smiling, hugging each other. It sent a lesson, to their supporters there that, these people are not fighting. These people are only looking for, genuinely looking for, seeking the mandate of the people to rule the country. So back to at the state level, when those actors, those governorship candidates, for like 2 years, for like 2 different election cycles, let's put it, in 2015 and in 2019, saw how these presidential candidates sign peace accord, hug each other, and do all of that. When we brought in the issue of signing peace accord at the state level, supported by the Kuka Center and other... Already
that was serving as a template.
As a template for them. So if they say, if at the national level, President could sign peace accord under Kuka Center, why can't we at the state level? So it was so easy for us. We had no much work to convince them.
Just a little bit before we continue, what just an idea of the content of the peace accord? Just an idea.
Okay.
What were they signing to?
Okay, we have on the peace accord there are 13 items.
Okay.
But just to highlight that the peace accord talks about maintaining peaceful conduct of behavior, maintaining issue-based campaign, avoiding violence as much as possible. If at the end of the day you're not comfortable with the election result, you approach the court, to seek redress. And we think that's the way to go, because other than take to violence, we have a system in place. The courts are there, for you to go and then ventilate your anger, your grievances.
And that works for you in Taraba.
It do works because no candidate, no governorship candidate, responsible governorship candidate would want his or her name to be tagged to violence when he or she has already committed in signing that. I will talk to my supporters to maintain calmness. The National Peace Committee and the ISPA, we, the State Independent Peace Committee, we don't have the mandate, the constitutional mandate to enforce this peace accord. But we look at the morality, and the gentlemanness, the sportsmanship in these people that are contesting the election. So if you could commit yourself that after this election, whether I win or I lose, I will maintain peace. If I lose, I'm not going to take the violence. I'm not going to encourage my supporters to reject the result. Rather, I will reject the result in a more peaceful and professional way by heading to court. So that really works for us. And for the first time in the history of elections in Taraba State, there was no life lost in that election as a result of supporters clashing with one another before the election, that is during the campaigns, during the voting process, and even after the announcement of results. The case we had in Jalingo, where one person was killed, was an issue of a stray bullet, where the police were trying to disperse, and then it led to accidental discharge, and then around it happened around Kaswambera. So it was not a case of people trying to snatch ballot boxes and someone was killed or no, it wasn't like that. So for us, for the first time, this worked for us, and we do hope that going forward, we'll continue with this kind of
hope too. All right, very quickly, because we shall be opening our lines to also hear from the public. But before we go on that break, let me quickly also highlight that your committee, that is the Independent State-Based Peace Architecture, successfully organized for the very first time a peace summit. All right, a peace summit, and sequel to that peace summit was a meeting you had with the United Nations Coordinator on Humanitarian Affairs. Tell me about these two activities and what was the outcome of all this? Because for the very first time we saw a peace summit that was well attended by all and sundry, including even people of some political parties were there, and they all sat in the same room, I think for about 2 days, correct? And so tell me about these two activities. First, your meeting with the UN official and this peace summit.
Okay, thank you very much. In a way, that's our success story, because for this committee was constituted on the 21st of September 2021, and since then we've been very active, engaging the stakeholders and ensuring that we maintain peace as much as possible. The journey towards peace is not something that you just start and then it ends. It's a long distance race, and then is something you sustain as much as possible. So since we started, we've been up and doing. And we need the support of the people, because one, as we are co-independent, we are not under any government. So our funding, you can't go to government, ask them for funding, because by the time they give you money 1, 2, 3 times, whatever you are doing, they look at you, this is, or even the public will look at you as an agency of government. So that trust for them to come and then, trust in you that, have confidence in you that you can actually help in midwifing or mediating issues of conflict, they will not come to you. If you will definitely take side. So since then, we felt that, okay, let's bring everybody into the room. Taraba is like a mini Nigeria. In fact, Taraba is more than a mini Nigeria. We have over 100 different ethnic groups in Taraba State that are indigenous to Taraba State alone. And the entire Nigeria, how many do we have? We say 250 or 300. So if Taraba alone we have over 100, it means Taraba is more than a mini Nigeria. Now, our differences, the whole essence of that peace summit was to bring people together and find a way of managing our diversity. Because our diversity should be our strength, it shouldn't be our disadvantage. So the whole essence of the efforts we were doing all along, reaching out to stakeholders, trying to intervene in little skirmishes, we felt that wasn't working enough, because this community, you will start with this community, then another community comes up with its own. So why not bring all of them in the hall and then talk to them on how to live in peace with one another? So you could see traditional rulers were there, the protocol class were there, security agencies were there, civil society organizations, youth groups, women groups, people living with disabilities, and all of them converged in the hall for 2 days. And we came out with 5 written recommendations, which we have since submitted to the government to see how, because some of those things we cannot enforce them, but the government may have the protocol will, to implement them. Then the security agencies will now key into what we're doing. At the end of the day, we have a peaceful society. So all we're doing is to say, look, salad that we all enjoy is not prepared with just one ingredient. When the salad fruit come and the lettuce and the other ingredients come, they don't lose their relevance. When they come, they're all bringing in their unique identities to mix together to produce that good taste that we eat. And so why not we come together as Taraba people, sit together and see how we can bring in our own our own creative ingenuity, and then fuse it together to make Taraba a place where all of us be proud to
go. Harnessing our diversity,
yes.
Right, for peaceful environments. All right, that's great. And then we are soon going to go on a break now. But let me also marry the fact that the Governor of Taraba State, His Excellency Dr. Abu Kefes, if you look at his 5-finger roadmap, just to align with what your peace architecture is doing, you see that it is there that I think his approach is security, unity, and peace. And when we return from the break, I think I'm going to be asking you, because whether we like it or not, in his wisdom for placing that as his top priority on the agenda, because social and economic development can only thrive in an atmosphere of peace. Whatever he says in moving forward, if peace is not there, I'm sure that it will be a futile mission. So you're going to be telling us how you're also working with government, because whether we like it or not, government is the #1 major stakeholder as far as peace is concerned at the end of the day. So let's go on this break. When we return, more enlightenment on the activities of the Taraba Independent Peace Committee as being expressed here by the secretary of that committee, Mr. Justin Tiopusu. Of course, it is also the brainchild of the National Peace Committee, which was initiated by the Kuka Center. So let's take a break. When we return, more enlightenment, and the number will be placed on the screen for your contributions and questions. Stick around. You can't expect anything less on Breakfast Show. It is always a very new, brand new, and of course, a relieving roller coaster. Thank you very much, and welcome back to the studios of Breakfast Show TV Taraba. My name is Franklin Fabulous Felixson, and I'm in company of Mr. Justin Tiopusu, Secretary, Taraba Independent Peace Committee. Peace and social development can only thrive when there is tranquility and that people can actually go about their daily business. And the Taraba Independent Peace Committee, which is an initiative of the Kuka Center, as Secretary of the National Peace Committee, is doing creditably well in the state. As I speak to you, we can boldly credit to this peaceful environment, to the fact that their advocacy is working and continues to work thanks to the activities of this committee as far as pre, during, and post-elections are concerned. And so this beautiful morning, one more time, we've been talking on this. He's been telling us about the activities of this committee. But like I told you before we went on the break, there is need to align with government as the major stakeholder in this whole peace business, so that we all live a very happy life. And so, Mr. Justin, very quickly, before we open our phone lines, what has been your relationship with the government? Have you had any time to even speak with the governor or government officials so that to work together also?
Okay, thank you very much. Like you rightly pointed out a while ago, we signed peace accord with all these governorship candidates. We brought them in the room, and they signed a accord to ensure that they maintain, a peace at all costs. So, after the election, we had a cause to invite the governor-elect before his inauguration, and we had a meeting with him. He came. We had a meeting with him, and we were able to discuss with him. Now, God accepted you are the governor. We discussed on the need to carry people along. Those who work with him, whether they voted for him or not, he's not the governor.
He's the governor of everybody, yeah.
He accepted, he agreed, and since then we've been having a very good working relationship. Even though, like you say, we are independent, but even when we're having our peace accord, our maiden summit, we invited him, and he sent in a representative. It was not a time, but he sent a representative. And there is no way, we are not government. We are only supporting the government to ensure the protection of lives and property, which is the primary responsibility of every government. So I think the governor understood this, and he is appreciative of what we're doing. And so we, in a summary, I would say we have a very good working relationship with government. Though we are not directly working under the government, but we are like partners, helping the government to ensure that they maintain peace and security at all times.
All right, thank you very much. 0705 33 That is 0705 33 is the number. Kindly call the number, tell us your name, where you're calling from, and if you have any contributions, commendation, or question to ask, please go ahead and do so. Of course, the number is 0705 33 That is 0705 33 So as we are going to calls, let's talk a little bit about challenges, because definitely you can't run such venture into peace advocacy, right? Trying to navigate from what it used to be and then bring something totally new and achieving such a result, as a committee or as an individual, without saying, man, there's been no challenges. There are people who definitely resist what you're doing. They'll be like, after all, what are you trying to do? We are used to this, it will happen. But have there been challenges? And if there are, what are those challenges that you may just say, okay, these are some of the challenges?
Well, there is no endeavor without challenges. But then the ability to surmount these challenges and move on is what has taken us this far. When we started, funding was a challenge. Selecting people that will work with us, that will be looked upon in the eye of the society as people of integrity, was another challenge. The challenge of mobility, the challenge of convincing people to feel that this is not just one of these peace initiatives that come and fizzle away after a while, was another challenge. So we have been, for now, we have been able to, to surmount some of these challenges. At least we have come to stay. The people are aware that, the peace committee have come to stay. The another challenge we are facing basically is the overwhelming perception that people have about the peace committee. But then we also have our limit. And in our vision, we envisage a situation where we have, established peace ideas in all the nooks and crannies of Taraba, in the minds of Taraba citizens. That look, you must have peace before you do anything. So that's another challenge. Now, to sum it up, financial challenges and other challenges will continue to crop up. Yeah. But you must be focused. We are focused, we are determined, and our quest to achieve result is what has kept us going. So the financial challenges, yes, we are getting support from the Kuka Center, from the National Peace Committee, from other donor agencies, and it's helping us. But that doesn't mean that we don't have challenges of, like we speak, we have our work plan for the year. We will not be able to execute the work plan successfully because of financial constraint. But that has not in any way slowed us down in our quest to ensure that we preach messages of peace at all times. And that's why I say kudos must be given to the Swiss Embassy for making this forum possible for us to once again engage with the public and engage to know what we are doing, what we stand for, and give them the opportunity to be able to reach out to us. And very soon you open the lines, very soon maybe people will start calling and then asking questions, and then we'll be attending to their questions, and then clearing some misconceptions about the Peace Committee, or putting certain clarifications about what we are doing, where we are going, and where we want to be in the next few years.
All right, I'm happy to hear that, because for the Swiss Embassy to actually believe in the vision of the Kuka Center, Secretariat of the National Peace Committee, it truly shows that both organizations have displayed a certain level of integrity and seriousness as far as this business is concerned. Because in reality, the Kuka Center, Secretariat of the National Peace Committee, led by Reverend Father Barkindo, PhD.
Yeah.
PhD. I think there's a certain level of integrity that he has displayed. I was just watching his video the other day with his submissions at the Peace Summit. I was like, wow. I really wish that candidates or elites in Nigeria, like you said, I think he deserves that commendation by the national body. 070-533-33391 is the number. Please dial the number. It's on your screen. Yes, it's on your screen already. So from whichever part of Nigeria you are, please dial, tell us your name and where exactly your location is, so that we have your own view about the activities of the Taraba Independent Peace Committee. Okay, I'm also glad that you seem to be very gender sensitive in doing your stuff too, even though you are mindful of who you put into the organization. I'm so happy also that you mentioned something like Form 1.
Yeah.
Your Form 1 partnering with you also, and also glad that civil society organizations are also partnering with you. Like in Taraba State, I'm very much aware there's Dr. Joseph, there's this, the
Joseph
chairman,
Gimba.
Gimba, yes.
Yeah.
I'm happy that during the Peace Summit, I saw him making very, very resourceful contributions. That, yes, we have a caller on the line, excuse me. Let's take this caller. Good morning and welcome to the show. Hello, good morning. All right, I think we lost that call. All right. So, how have your working relationship with the CSO been? Because I know that under his leadership, they are very strong. So, no compromise.
Taraba Independent Peace Committee, by its setting, is already a CSO. It's a civil society organization. And you talked about gender sensitivity. Let me maybe start from there. We have 17 active members. Out of this, we have 6 women. So that's to tell you the gender balance in all of this. And many of them are doing great women, doing very great in so many areas. We have lawyers, barristers on the team. We have women leaders, in different various groups, in this committee. So nobody is lagging behind. Just to put it rightly. So our relationship with the civil society is cool, is calm. We, just like you rightly pointed out, Joseph Gimba is a friend, and even at that peace committee, Peace Summit, he was invited, he made useful contributions, and since then we've been engaging. The work of peace cannot be done in a vacuum. You can't do it alone. You need a lot of people to be able to do it, because you cannot be everywhere.
Yeah.
So you are here doing your work, and then we bring you on board, and then you use your platform to reach out to people and say, look, this is what this peace committee stands for. And in a way, you're doing your contributing your quarter towards peace building in Taraba. And the whole essence is to ensure we have a peaceful society where you and I and the children and the generation yet unborn will come on and then enjoy the benefits of these peace initiatives.
Yes. Talking about integration and all hands must be on deck and all that, when I see also somebody like His Lordship Bishop Charles Amawa, PhD, also being part of this. I remember a time he was down with health, but still, pushing and making contributions at all forms. Talking about integrity, I think we all thirst for that Nigeria where, conflict of interest, we should be able to put the interest of the generality of the people ahead of our own personal interest. So when we make mention of names like Bishop Charles Amawa, I think it's a great delight for everybody to say, wow, I remember how instrumental he was during the Peace Summit, and how his contributions in many spheres on reports actually came to being. And it was even held at the Pastoral Center. I think this is where we always say that, look, I think religion is we must have misunderstood this along the way, and we think, okay, anything that has to do with faith is, but humanity first. And are we looking at sustaining this committee? Is there any time that, because one would have wished, okay, let it be a lifetime committee?
It's like a committee that has an expiry date.
So we maintain.
We don't have an expiry date as a committee. Maybe one thing, something might happen. A member might maybe leave the exit, but then doesn't mean the committee will cease to exist. It has come to stay, and we ensure that the members who are bringing on board are people that can actually sustain this for a while. You don't see the likes of Bishop Hammer waking up one day and say, "I know do." Yeah. And that is why our secretariat is domiciled in the Catholic secretariat, that is of the Catholic Diocese of Jalingo. And our head of secretariat here is a Reverend Father. He's the head of JDPC, and so he's also the head of this head of secretariat of this initiative. That means that he's not someone that tomorrow he will jump into politics and say, as a politician, my interest is my conflict. I have conflict of interest, and I can't do this again. So that is how we structured this peace committee, to ensure that we have continuity. And the expectation people have on us is something that we will not just wake up one day and say the committee is no longer in existence. Take, for example, during the chieftaincy crisis in Takum, there was a lot of calls on the peace committee. Some of the things we did at the background is not something that will come out and begin to say we have done A, B, C, D. But we did a lot. We cannot take people to court, but we give you our own piece of advice and bring certain issues for you to bear on the table and say, look, weigh this on the scale of, and then look at which one is better for peace building. So we are doing a lot. We are engaging with people at the grassroots, the traditional rulers. But very soon we are going to bring in some traditional rulers in Jalingo by the grace of God. Because we noticed that the administration of the middle past administration of Governor Dairo 6 in Ishako created and upgraded chiefdoms. And now we have like 76 or so chiefdom, first class, second class, and third class chiefdoms in Taraba State. Now, most of these people who have taken leadership roles at that level do not have any form of training on how to manage diversity, manage conflicts, and even administer justice to the people. So they need a sort of a training. And we're trying to provide a platform for them to at least give them basic tips on managing diversity, managing their areas, their domains, so that peace starts at that level. When peace starts at that level, it goes into the households, individual households, because these are the closest administrative structure to the people. Not even the local government, because the traditional rulers reside in wards or in communities or in village areas.
Where most times the conflicts come from.
From those areas. So if they're able to manage their communities very well, then when peace starts from there and then to the local government, to the state level, investors will flood Taraba, say that, Taraba is peaceful. That negative image that over time have beclouded Taraba, say that Taraba is known for violence or we despair.
I think this has just answered the question I was going to ask, because I was just looking at the activities of the Independent Peace Committee, maybe limiting it to, another election is coming, let's start talking election, then it is election time, we talk it, then after that we do another thank you and then organize a peace. But I'm happy that you're beginning to think of stepping it down, let it go to the grassroots, so that we can also have some of these peace ambassadors in those rural communities where they can also report to the committee that, yes, we have someone in this community, what have you been able to give us, an eyewitness report, or what can you tell us about this? I think this should be meeting, because we cannot talk about Nigeria without talking about all the local governments we have, and we cannot talk about the unity of Nigeria without going to the grassroots and letting them know all these things. So
just to add, apart from having a meeting with those, training these traditional rulers and then giving them certain mandates, on how to administer their communities, we also intend to, just like you mentioned, peace ambassadors at the local government level. With time, we are going to have independent peace architecture at the local level, local government level. While at the world level, we have traditional rulers, reporting this. In each of the wards, we intend training at least one person that will be like a coordinator for that ward. So whatever happens, he reports to the committee at the local government level. The committee at the local government level report to us. And if something we cannot handle, we call on the National Peace Committee to come in and help us to address the issue. So in that way, we are going to, and then we are working closely with the Nigerian police, security agencies, and Nigerian police, Nigerian army, the civil defense, in fact, the immigration. We send letters of consequence, and very soon, because we noticed that most of these service chiefs at the state level, pull out and the new ones came. And those ones that came in, they have not interacted with us. So we need to interact with them, tell them what we're doing, let them know that, oh, this group exists and this is what they stand for. And then together, we work together and ensure that we bring peace to our communities.
All right, we have about 5 minutes to go on the show. I'll let you this time now. You've been working not alone, you've been working with renowned Professor of History, Professor Talangarka, as the chairman, and then you have other members of that committee. Maybe you want to say thank you to the members of your committee also who may be watching too. They've been doing really well with you, so maybe you want to say a word and then call on the public, all right, to embrace your activity before we round up the show. Right.
But then, like you said, even before now, I'd laid some kind of commendation on the women in the group, about 6 of them that are doing quite well, and other 17 members. I was able to mention specifically some persons and mention some names here. But on the whole, I say the committee is standing on very strong pillars of 17 able men and women who are working daily, sacrificing their time, their energy, their resources to ensure that there is peace in Taraba. And I think these people deserve some sort of commendation of what we're doing. And we want to call on media organizations like Taraba Television, Taraba Radio, Rock FM, and other media organizations in Taraba to give us that forum to come to your opportunity to come to your station and take this advocacy to the next level, because if there is violence here,
we won't sit here.
You will sit here. Rock FM will not broadcast. Shimo FM will not broadcast. TTV, TSBS will not broadcast. So we need that peace. And in doing so, we need to send these messages using your platforms to the people as frequently as we can. So peace, like you say, is something that we must pursue at all costs. And let me tell you something. Most times, peace is eluding us because someone somewhere has left the window open. Someone somewhere has left the door open. And then a thief is able to come in through the window that is open or through the door that is open. So at our own level, let's be watchful, let's close our doors and ensure that we embrace each other and guard against issues or the utterances that will lead to breakdown of law and order.
Wow, thank you very, very much, Mr. Justin Tiopusu, is the Secretary, Taraba Independent Peace Committee. It is the brainchild of the Hooker Center, Secretariat of the National Peace Committee. Well, there you have it. Quite unfortunate we couldn't receive calls, maybe because of the network, I don't know, but we're hoping that you'll be here again for us to have to get to hear from our viewers also. My name is Franklin Fabulous Felixson. Have a beautiful day and make sure that you increase the peace, because social, economic and cultural development can only thrive in an atmosphere of peace. So support the Hooker Center, support the National Peace Committee, and of course support funders like the Swiss Embassy to make sure that Nigeria lives in peace for us to flourish. Have a beautiful day. Bye. You can't expect anything less on Breakfast Show. It is always a very new, brand new, and of course a relieving roller coaster. Thank you very much. I'm so proud of you. It's such a great privilege.
You're welcome anytime if you invite me out.
You're welcome. Thank you.
I wanna wake up to the heat of the sun. I wanna feel it shine inside me. Oh yeah.
Okay, well, it's been nice having you on the show. I wish we can continue. I really had fun.
I want my loved ones all around me. Oh yeah. We together as one. We're all the same. Oh yeah. Yes, again.
It's good to chop knuckle a beg.
Thank you.
Celebrate and let the world know.
Lovely question from a youngster.
Yes.
Is it must that there should be an election?
Yes, it's telling our leaders that we need to wake up.
That's right.
And do very well for the masses.
We're gonna stay up, turn the night into day. We're gonna get the world apart.